explain that once we left the airport, we came to a new city, and that new city is Bandar, Seri, something that starts with a B. And the reason why I don't know the name is because everywhere abbreviates it BSB. So this is a Backstreet Boys, and that's where we are, Backstreet Boys. BSB, so far, we've seen at nighttime, and it's been kind of chill. Everybody here's been really nice. Everybody speaks quite a lot of English, so that's making things way easier than expected. Like, this might actually be a vacation. I don't know if that explains anything, but language barriers are part of adventure, and not having a language barrier kind of makes it feel a little more like, oh, this is relaxing. So I'm having my relax. We went through this large market that is close to our place. It doesn't feel like what we thought it was going to feel like. We thought we were going to a hawker like we did last night, where it was just like people cooking. But the people aren't just cooking in front of you. It's more like bentos or little lunch boxes and lots of fruit and vegetables and fish and little girls. And they have moved the girl to the other side now. And now I'm distracted. And so it took us a while to find the food because we were just expecting to go up and tell somebody to cook something, but that's not what you do here. We've ended up with a bunch of bentos.
What's a bento, Katie? Not everybody watching this is gonna know that.
Lunchbox.
Okay.
Like a small takeaway lunch. And we have 3 items. I'm gonna start with the hardest one because it came in the bag that is perpetually difficult to open.
Yeah, that is. There's no way to open that without getting a bath. So it's basically just a little salad with stuff we don't like. I mean, some of that makes sense. There's an egg there, but is this like a bread or something? I guess. And then maybe a little bit of meat and cucumbers and stuff like that. And what confused us is this looks like a dressing, but then that came with it. So we got double dressing power here.
We only have single dressing power until I figure this out.
Yeah, good luck. Maybe you should just bite a hole in the corner and then leak it onto it.
I thought about doing that, but then I thought about like all the things that corners come into contact with, and I was like, I'm making ground. I'm definitely making ground.
Almost.
But what's interesting is it's actually cut into the bag.
Oh, weird.
I've never seen that.
How do they do that?
I don't know.
She
put
tied it
holes
off.
and then they cut it.
Okay.
All right, so I'm just gonna assume you put all of it in there. Should I go all or half?
Half. That's a lot, man.
I need somewhere to put the bag when I'm done. All right. Here we go.
Yeah, that's good. And then maybe eat some, and then, you know, you're gonna jump down a little deeper, no have enough dressing, and then pound some more on.
Give it a mix up. I want to know what this sauce is over
yeah,
here.
that looks like it's gonna be really spicy, and I'm betting the stuff you just put on top is not spicy.
That's a good point.
You're gonna get savory flavor.
We got cucumbers, looks like kind of daikon and egg.
Was there meat in there? I was having a little trouble.
The protein you're gonna get from this is looking like egg stuffs.
Is that egg stuffs?
I think that's like it looks like an omelet to me.
Maybe. I was wondering.
Could totally be wrong.
I was wondering bread, maybe? I don't know. All right, come on, eat it now. Everybody's waiting.
Everybody's waiting. All right. It looks scary.
It does look a little scary.
All right, got some cucumbers, some daikon. Great peanutty taste. This is peanut.
Okay.
That is definitely a spicy sauce. I may not have gotten like a huge amount of spice, so it's good, but you might hit a pocket and it'll ruin your life. This is still unknown. It feels thicker than egg would, but not like bread.
Maybe it's lung. Somebody told us lung was on sale a minute ago.
I almost ended up buying some beef lung and then I didn't. But yeah, that's what we've got for the salad. I've gotten a very traditional rice, chicken, spicy sauce, cucumbers. I don't know if there's a name, but this also had some dried fish on top of it. Simple, easy, edible. Eric has a much cuter.
Yeah, I've got basically a cuter version of what what you have, where it's just, you know, probably a spicy sauce, some rice, a little tiny piece of chicken, that's like a pigeon wing, an egg, and then wrapped in a
Banana leaf?
Banana leaf or something, right? Is that what it is?
I think.
All right.
But it's time to eat it, and hopefully we don't hit the pocket of spice that ruins everything. But if we don't come back, you know what happened.
Everything that we ate here, these 3 different items, comes out to be about $2.50 USD. So pretty cheap. Some of the portions were a little small, but even if you were to like double down and get twice as many of these, you're still looking at like $5. So it's really not that bad. And at that point, you'd be like doing pretty all right, like stomach size wise. The market was described by our book as kind of like a hustle and bustle type of place. And I think they mean that by like comparison to other areas within Brunei. And it certainly has got charm, but I wouldn't say that this is like hustle and bustle. I'm comparing it to markets from other countries and stuff, and like where they're like kind of like aggressive, where there's a lot of noise or like a lot of like, you know, just a lot of activity. And this is like really chill. This is a lot of people just hanging out, smiling. Like that's really what's going on here. And it's a market, but it's certainly a market. I'd take away the quote. It's a market, but it's not like, this is a structure that somebody's built recently, and it's very clean and very nice the way it's constructed and everything, and it looks like it's been maintained and all of that. So it's kind of like they've taken like these 2 different like universes and kind of splurged them together. And I wonder if that's kind of like a representation of the country, where it's in Southeast Asia where things are kind of gritty and everything, but they've got a lot of money and stuff, so they're kind of taking a lot of those concepts that exist in Southeast Asia and like cleaning them, you know what I mean? It doesn't seem like it's been done to the level where it has in Singapore, where it's like finding the Southeast Asia grit is really very difficult. Like it's there, but it's very hard to find because there's so many like high brand shopping malls and stuff. And this little market shows me that this country is still maybe retaining a little bit of that grit. Maybe they don't want to. Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe this is like, they haven't gotten rid of it yet. But I hope this kind of thing stays around because things like this are pretty fun. Behind Katie, I saw some girls making something that I thought would be fun, considering it's a little warm out here and everything. Maybe it would be a good way to cool down a little bit. And Katie doesn't have any idea what it is. And honestly, I thought it was going to be a little more interesting looking than it is. It's kind of boring. So now I'm like, a surprise. It's not really that big of a surprise. But I'm going to let Katie taste this without looking at it first, and then just see if she can tell us what the flavors are. So, okay, hold on. She's got her eyes closed. So I went over there and I told the girl, what's your favorite flavor? And she has like a bunch of flavors, and she showed me all the different flavors, and she was smiling really big because I had given like her the opportunity to like share with me like her favorite flavor. So she picked her favorite one. She's like, it's this one, is it okay? I was like, yeah, do it. So she made it. It's not durian. It's not.
I can smell it.
It's not. You can smell a durian from 6 blocks away. It's not a durian. If the durian was here right now, you'd know. All right, it's a straw, okay? You got a straw situation. This is what we got. There's a straw on top.
Does it have like a little jacket?
Yeah, it has
like overalls?
It does have overalls.
Really cute overalls. Okay, I want to smell it.
You probably know what it is now.
I'm not going to try and open it.
Don't open it. You're going to have a bath.
I have poured too many drinks so far. All right.
This is like the least exotic thing possible.
It's cocoa.
It is.
Is it Milo?
No, it's called Pop Ice, and it is like a cafe latte type flavor, I think. Cappuccino or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's huge, isn't it? It was like 60 cents USD.
I heard them doing the ice part of it.
Yeah. That's fun. You want to go do some exploring?
Get caffeinated on our way.
What are you trying to get?
Some fruit testicles.
Fruit?
That's what they look like, man.
They do look a bit like that.
They're rambutans, and I'm gonna see how much I can get for $1. I don't know how this is gonna go.
I like this little handle. Katie's found something kind of interesting. You can go a little closer here. So there's Katie. And let's see a Katie point of view. What are we looking at here?
Monkeys.
You gonna go over there and get a handshake?
No. I'll let them take care of all the handshaking and banana throwing and everything else. Just them looking at me, I'm like, don't come over here. What? They're just hanging out in the street? Right? I thought we'd have to go to the wood, like to the jungle to meet a monkey.
He's gonna come down here and rip your arms off.
You can come and get it. He's scared. No, you have to, Aaron. Wow, this is like life and fear together. It's amazing. I want to watch him eat it. Oh, but it's really hard there. He can't resist though. We used to have squirrels in our attic, and I'm really glad they weren't monkeys, because that's some scary stuff. If that tail was hanging out of our attic, I think I'd just leave.
You'd see him about to make a jump.
Or I'd throw a rambutan to it.
You gonna hook them up with another rambutan?
Yeah, a little rambutan. I kind of want to see if they'll come.
Katie, you are insane. They're gonna claw off your eyeballs.
They're gonna fight each other, that's for sure.
This one looks like it's braver. Come on, bro. Oh, the big one is coming.
Oh, he knows the big one's gonna come too. Wow.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. There's a
Big one
dominance thing going on.
owns the world.
I wonder if the smaller ones are female and the big one is the male.
Yeah, I would bet that. That one has nipples. Do male monkeys have nipples?
I have nipples.
You do have nipples.
Just toss them the rambutan. Yeah. Yeah, look how fast he peels it and everything. He's an expert. He knows his fruit.
We followed an offshoot of the river that we're standing in front of right now to get down here to see if we can get over to Kampong Ayer. And Kampong Ayer is this stilt village that you see behind me. There are many, many houses. I'm assuming they're all houses, but they could be businesses or other types of things that are built above the water. They're all connected by bridges, and looking from afar, it really doesn't look like anything. I think once you get in there, it's gonna be like a completely different world.
I don't know, man. It looks nuts from here. They're not on the land.
They're on the water.
On the water.
It feels like it's all on the same level, and I can't see all these bridges. I saw a map from above, and it's just like little bridges connecting all of this stuff, so I'm excited to get into that. But first we have to try and get a boat that isn't going to try and take us on a tour of something we don't care about. So that is our challenge for right now. Guys, I want a boat so bad. So to cross this river, you have to get on one of these, it's like a speedboat. It's not like a long boat. It has a nice big motor.
It is long.
Insane and fast. We paid a guy $4, which I think is probably overpaying for what we were asking for. We wanted to just shoot down the river a little ways, go nice and fast, have a good turn. Oh, and he was real good at the turn. Like, I was like, whoa, and he's turning around, and then he goes, was it good? And I told him, yes, it was very good. And then on top of what I actually wanted, he went into the actual town and like went under people's houses and through areas, and it was just really cool. And he was going so much faster than I thought anyone should be going. We should not be going this fast. But he does it every day, so I think he knows what he's boating about. And so we went through there, and then he took us out to the river and asked us where we wanted to go, and I just pointed at the closest jetty that was on the other side of the river, and now is now. And he's gone. I gave him his $4. He seemed pretty pleased, because I think that is way more than one would pay for anything else. But he did try to haggle us down. He got us off the mainland, stopped the boat, and was like $10. Nah, dude, you said $4. And that was really awkward, because we are in your boat. What am I gonna do? But it was really fun, and it was only the $4, and I got more than I wanted.
Yeah. She means for Brunei dollars. Bruneian? How do you say okay, now that I've decided it's Brunei. That's what I've decided on. But
Bruneian.
Bruneian dollars? Bruneian dollars?
No, Bruneian.
You
I've
think
seen
Brunei?
it spelled. It has the BRUNEIAN.
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 All right. So by the time we leave here, we're gonna know the name of the country.
No, probably not.
What's blowing my mind about this place is it's not like a little tourist attraction. Like, people live here. Like, this is still what's happening. Like, it's kind of mind-boggling that this still exists here, and I wonder why, if it's just like a historical thing, or if land is really expensive here or something. I don't understand why they're still building out over the river, because this looks like, it looks kind of dangerous. It looks like everything could just fall over, and, you know, this is a typhoon-prone area, I believe. So, does that become a problem? Some of these buildings look like they're about to fall today. So, you ready to go explore around in this area, walk around?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Who will fall in? I don't know. We just got out. There's no handrails, people. This is dangerous stuff. I am very clumsy. Absolutely clumsy. Oh, gosh.
You can swim, though.
I can swim.
You got a good kiddie paddle.
Yeah, the doggy paddle like nobody's business.
The angle of this satellite dish shows you how close to the equator you are. Oh, I just noticed something else. Look at this guy. That's a goose. We're playing a game of Guess That Animal. So if y'all remember.
Where have you heard it? And it went,
And this is what it is for everybody that's curious.
is it a monkey?
Is it a monkey? No. Oh, that's him making noise.
How is he making that noise? With a foot, with a mouth, with a
I can't tell you that.
hand? You can't tell me.
Just open your eyes.
Is it a rooster?
Meet your new. You want to get closer?
Oh my gosh. I thought it was right here, honestly. Wow. It's majestic.
You kind of feel like you're just walking through people's yards,
Yeah,
but
it just feels
it's the only way that you can get around inside of this thing. So like everybody's just got to be like, okay, people are gonna be walking through my yard. That's how this whole system works.
They're gonna see my goose.
They're gonna see your goose.
Definitely gonna videotape my goose. That's just normal, everyday stuff. Videotaping my goose.
And it feels a lot sturdier.
Why does it smell like spicy chicken?
It feels a lot, because somebody's cooking, son. You hungry?
I think it's ayam soup.
I think I'm gonna throw you some Rambutans like you're a monkey. The whole structure feels, it feels sturdier when you're walking on it. It doesn't feel like it's gonna fall over or anything, but like then you look down and you can see through the slots and stuff and you're like, maybe it's not as sturdy as I thought it was. But not to be worried. Tide is low right now and this is basically mud below us.
I don't want to die. I don't want to die by mud.
If you fell in this
Alright.
mud, you probably have a problem, you're right.
Yeah, I don't want to die by mud. Okay?
The village has got like all of the normal stuff that you'd expect a normal village to have. It looks like they've got like a plumbing system that is installed. I'm assuming it provides clean water. Maybe not. I mean, I get the impression, yeah. Like the houses,
yeah,
some of the
yeah.
houses are really nice. And
Seeing they can take out the water properly. They've got like lots of tubes and stuff.
I mean, if they can't, they just got a hole in the floor and they no thing. And there's also an electrical system and a lot of people have satellite dishes. And of note, they also have addresses. So I'm assuming each little area has got like a street name and then there's an address system that is attached to it, which if you've seen my hitchhiking video where I got in Hokkaido where I'm trying to find something based on the address, that's a step up from Japan. Like, we might be living over the water, but at least we can find each other's place. The network of bridges and walk paths seems like it connects everything. I thought it was going to be like a bunch of different independent villages that just happen to kind of be in the same area, but I think you can walk to all of them basically from like one starting point, which is pretty fascinating. Like, it's a really intricate system they have, and it's huge. It's a lot of people that live in this area. You do see some destruction, and it looks like we've come across something that, it looks like a fire happened and took out an entire block. And that's got to be pretty scary because, like, how do you fight a fire in this type of situation? You know what I mean?
Well, we found out how you would fight a fire. This appears to be a hydrant for the fire people.
I've seen in people's windows they have televisions, like flat screen TVs, and a lot of people seem to have air conditioning units, and it's all very modern except for you're on these stilts.
I read that this water town, like calling it water town, is self-sufficient in a way of all of its bureaucracy is the only thing I can think to say, but that's not the word I'm looking for. All of its infrastructure, such as like fire departments, police departments, education, and things like that, it is sufficient on its own. It doesn't need mainland support. So behind us, what I think is a school, we can't verify that. There's a gigantic building on the water. It is large. I've definitely seen buildings like this on the ground, and they were doing a good job on the ground, but I never would go, yeah, let's put that on the water.
It looks like multiple blocks in size.
Yes, yes. Yeah, quite big, and it looks really nice. Like if I went to this school, I'd be like, that's my school. My school's painted like great colors and
on the water.
On the water. I'm taking the boat to school. I want to take a boat to school. Ugh.
As far as infrastructure goes, they certainly at least have mosques over here, because call to prayer just happened, and that's definitely a mosque right there.
Oh yeah, that's something I didn't mention. Mosques, yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
What's that?
Where your hose at?
I have no hose.
I got news for you.
Oh. Please be my hose.
You'd really expect a place like this to just be flooded with tourists, but like I've only seen one other honky, and it's Kyde. So like, is it just because this country doesn't have much tourism, or maybe we're here during the wrong time of day, or I don't know, maybe we're not in the touristy area, maybe there's a special area for tourists and we just ended up, because we randomly were like, well, it's there. Like, it's like maybe we just ended up in the residential zone or whatever. But the dude did say something about monkeys. He kept saying something about long-faced monkeys or something. Did you hear that?
Proboscis?
Yeah, watch your head.
Whoa.
You're living in Eric's world now.
I was staring at the non-monkey cat over there. Some water cats and stuff. Wow.
I didn't expect to see them underneath the walkway. Is that where you'd like to chill?
No, that looks dangerous. It looks scary. I don't know how they got down there.
Cats, man, they're agile.
They are agile.
It's amazing. I think I found proof of street signs, like street names. I think that's what we're on. Like, this is a pretty main looking drag, and we're on a bridge that seems like it was built by not like somebody's house building, but like built by like the community or whatever, some sort of government. It's built made of concrete and looks very like, you know, bridgely. So I had to invent words.
Yes. Hello. He just went over a big speed bump. We just hit something very, very interesting. They are townhousing this place. Townhouse is not the right word, but this is what they look like. They look like little townhouses.
It looks like suburban America.
Suburban America is
on
right
water.
There on water. And we just had a really big argument about this because I'm kind of disgusted about this. I'm not a big fan, but Eric and the
Why? Explain why.
I'm not a big fan. You told me not to be overtly negative.
Well, you be negative, dude. You do you.
Just because I just spent a half an hour, and I'm really glad that we went through this in the way that we did, and we got dropped off in a weird area and just explored there, because I really got to feel that area and understand that area and see what was there in the older time, modern, older, how they used to do things, which might be changing. And it got to be in there with all the different colors and the loud buildings and the chaos. It's just a little bit chaotic, and it's perfect. Like the dangerous little walkways, it's just perfect. It's stunning. It makes you go, whoa, this is insane. And then I gotta walk over here. What do you got to say about that?
I think it's fascinating because I think that it's cool to have seen both sides of this coin, and I think Katie's right. I'm glad we saw this other side first because it made this more shocking, because I cannot believe that they're building modern style houses that are above water like this. It's really cool to me that they are, it's kind of like that market we were in earlier where they're adapting, they're taking this old style way of doing things and they're modernizing it.
I have a phrase.
As opposed to, what's your phrase?
Grits and glitz.
Grits and grits, yeah.
No, grits and glitz. You just did that very Japanese.
Grits and glitz.
Yeah.
Sorry. So they're doing this instead of abandoning it. And they also haven't just tried to turn, like, there's not tourism here. Nobody, not once, we've been walking around here for like an hour, has come up to us and tried to sell us a thing. Like, doesn't even exist. That infrastructure isn't here, and maybe the tourism here is just that low. But like, they could just completely abandon the whole thing and like go build like, you know, suburban neighborhoods like they would in America or whatever. But instead they've decided, hey, we've got this history of living in this place, let's keep doing it. The only thing I kind of wish that they had done with this is made the houses a little more unique. And Katie's right about how the older houses have got individual personality, and these new ones look like cookie cutter houses. Like somebody was like, okay, I figured out how to prefab these things, and bam, 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 and they slammed them all down. I really just can't believe they're 2 floors tall. They put these things on stilts above the water. But as we walked from the older area into the newer area, you can see that this is where they meet. This is the wood, and this is the concrete. And it looks to me from here like all of the area with those big houses is all concrete walkways and bridges and stuff. So maybe it's a hell of a lot more sturdy than what they did back in the day. But I don't know. This is very fascinating. I think it's unbelievably fascinating that they've taken these two things and just merged them together. Is he going over the speed bump? Again?
Yeah. Same dude. Goodbye.
We're a little bit geographically confused about like how all of this works, because it's kind of just a mess when you're walking around inside. I'm sure like a bird's eye view of it makes a lot of sense. But we've come across a map. Actually, we're inside of a tourist center that's like super, super nice. And they gave us some buttons. And I don't know, everybody
I feel it.
is really, yeah, I'm feeling it too. The people here are amazing. They're really, really nice people in this country. So they've got this map here, and you can see, hopefully the lighting isn't too bad.
It's good.
All of the white area is land, like legit land. And then all of these different colored areas are sections of the water villages. And they're apparently divided up and named after like old school like occupations from that area. Like if you needed like a basking weaving person, for example, like they're all in one area or whatever, which is kind of an Asian thing. You'll see that in cities, even like in Bangkok and things like that. So like you'd have that neighborhood, might be like basket neighborhood, and then like maybe some other neighborhoods are named after a famous person from that area, or a major event took place in an area, so that's how each area got its name. And you can see each one is a different color. So all of these colored sections are like on water villages, and if you really take a look, like it's on both sides of the river, by the way. I noticed that earlier when we were on the boat, there were some of them that were on the mainland, I guess. I'm not quite clear on the geography here, but
the Northland.
The northern area had some villages as well, and you can see those going up in here. And then we're on the opposite side of the river, and all of this goes all the way down here and way down to the tip, and shows like just how huge this is. And I could be mistaken, but I think this might be the biggest one of these in the world. And it was talking about how it's existed for hundreds and hundreds of years. It was talking about explorers from the West in like the 1800s or 1700s perhaps, having come here, being like the whole country is just people living on the water, like it's a city on the water. And and I read in 1911, what was it? 90% or something? Like a huge percentage of the population. Half, was it half? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It was 50% of the population of the entire country lived like within this section of above water housing. It's just really fascinating. I'm so happy they've held on to it. It's so cool that they've held on to it. It's so cool that it hasn't.
But what about the townhouses? Is that still holding on?
It is. They're still living on. Katie, we're still living on the water. We talked about this earlier, and I was like, the water is the fascinating part.
I am happy to see them modernizing and not just sticking to like having these old houses, not fixing them up, them becoming dilapidated, sticking to the same old traditional wares that they did in the past, and not like moving with the times. Like, some other places do that, and it's not good. And then they complain about how nobody respects their stuff, and they're not getting anything, and they need things. We gotta modernize, so I should be happy about that too. And this is a sign of modernizing.
But it does look a bit like suburbia, you're right.
It does look a bit like suburbia.
But how many times you gotta have a big fire in your neighborhood before you're like, we gotta start using concrete, y'all?
Yeah, it's scary.
They've got an observation tower here that gives you a pretty cool view of the two different villages essentially that have merged into one, with the old school stuff and the new like suburbia style housing.
Eric came up with a really great idea to ask the guards at the museum if there's anywhere to eat here on
Waterworld.
Here in Waterworld. And they thought about it for a while. Like they were talking back and forth, and now he's told us if we go over to this building over here, there should be some food. Sutu?
I think that's what he said.
Sutu?
I think he said it was noodles.
Yeah, noodles. And that's what I'm going to order. Whatever I just said. Sutu? Sutu? Okay. I'm trying to remember it, so I can't talk to you anymore.
We got on video.
Yeah.
We can watch it back.
Good.
We're gonna go to this lady and be like, okay, what do you want to order? I'm gonna show her a video of Katie saying the video word. What? What?
Doing a little shopping while we're waiting for our food. We did find the restaurant that the guy was talking about. I can still see him. He's across the way. They have kind of a convenience store setting, but everything is in these packs because it's exposed to the rain. They're not closing any doors out here. It's sunny. This stuff needs to be protected. So I'm having to open like any little box to look at things and see what's inside. So it's kind of like a little exciting.
You can see right through the box. What are you talking about?
I'm trying to read the label. Dang, man. It seems like blueberry is a really big thing here.
We keep seeing blueberry flavor.
Things that are blueberry flavored.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry, I got a little distracted over here. Check this out. Look at this guy. Is that a snake or a chicken?
It's a chicken.
But look, it says right there.
Snack. It's got snack. Snack. We're gonna have a snack. Yeah. We're essentially at someone's house hanging out on their porch with their family, and they're kind of all watching us right now as we make the video, but you gotta turn that off and just shoot the video because that's the best part of this. Well, aside from the food's gonna be the best part of this. I got the sutu, and I said it to them, they understood, I was happy. It's noodles, and there's some beef, and fried onions, and I have no idea really what to expect from the broth. I'm just gonna give it a try and see where we go with it.
Does it taste like home cooking?
Definitely tastes like home cooking. It's just a subtle flavor, a little bit salty and just relaxed, like easy food. Nothing spicy or overly exciting about it. I'm actually eyeballing your food and I'm really jealous of it. Like, mine's great and fantastic and was the recommendation of the security guard, but yours? Looking pretty good.
It's like a fried noodle dish. I think it has chicken.
Mei goreng.
Mei goreng. Is that chicken? No, that's beef. I don't know.
Mei is noodles and goreng just means fried, so.
Oh, okay, so stuffs, fried stuffs. That's good. I mean, I don't have a whole lot to say about it. I mean, it's eggy and it's noodly and it's meaty and it's good. And they brought this out, which is a lot of the stuff. I don't think I'm supposed to use all of it. I'm gonna have to ask one of these kids.
That's a lot of hot sauce.
Like, what's going on?
It's pour it
It's like bigger than the noodles. And actually, I've had this in the past, but we've forgotten what it was. We recognized it, but we couldn't remember what it was. And it says isotonic drink on it, so I think it's gonna be like a Pocari Sweat or like kind of like a Gatorade type thing or whatever. And I can't get my finger under there, so.
I'm struggling to do mine.
Yeah. So I'm gonna see what's going on here, and it's just a clear soda. It's carbonated.
Is it grapefruit?
Yeah, it's kind of, maybe? I don't know. The flavor is original. I wouldn't say it's grapefruit, but it's got a little bit of a tartness to it, like that. It's a carbonated like energy drink type soda type thingy. Katie got something. Did you get this based on the name?
I got this based on, the name is Fen, but the flavor is Zapple, and I definitely think that's the way to go. It smells like apple juice, just straight up apple juice.
It was carbonated?
Carbonated, but it's just apple juice, man. It's good. Okay, one spoon. And then this just...
Don't too much, it's too spicy.
It's too spicy, go easy? Okay. Alright, that's good. We got a little help. We put some soy sauce, some vinegar, and some spicy stuff in here. And I'm really having trouble with these noodles and not having chopsticks.
Maybe use a fork, dude.
I don't know how to do
like
that.
pasta.
Okay, that's alright. Thank you.
Has it got kick now?
A little bit of kick. I'm gonna go more on the spicy sauce, and I'm gonna figure out what the clear sauce was. Maybe it wasn't vinegar, but I love vinegar, so it's It's really good. I would say comfort food probably of Brunei. Oh, I'm stepping a big turd.
The food for lunch was, I mean, it was okay. It wasn't amazing food, but we got to hang out with this family of these, it's like 3 or 4 sisters and a cousin, and like they were all, the oldest was 17 and the youngest was like toddler, like 3 or something. And they speak like English like reasonably well, enough to at least have a conversation about like where's your school and how old are you and like all those types of things. So like the company was really, really cool. And we were just hanging out with this family, and she said that there's 10 people living inside their house. And it sounded like a grandma, an aunt, and the mom were the only adults, and the rest was all children. And they also had what looks like some handmade popsicles. So we've got a handmade popsicle, and she said it was Milo flavored.
Yep, just pop that top like they do it just at their place. Give it a little spin.
We're in the shade now, so I'm gonna stop walking.
Oh yeah, that feels good.
You got it open?
Yep.
All right. Chocolatey?
Chocolatey for real.
Is it frozen?
Mm-hmm. Just like if you and I made it at home.
Yeah, nice.
And I do make popsicles at home, so it's kind of reminiscent.
We've come kind of the edge of where the new structures are being built and then getting back over to like where the older looking buildings are. And at the edge of this where they meet, we've got this huge structure. And the structure is like a place for people to play sports together. And you can see that it's like a volleyball style setup, but the net is low. So I'm wondering if it's, I don't remember exactly, Takra, I think
you're right.
Is the name of a sport that I've seen played in Southeast Asia where they have like a little woven ball and it's like volleyball with your feet. And that's kind of my guess is what might be going on in here. Maybe badminton for like little people or something, I don't know. But it's like a huge, huge structure. And again, we're on the water right now. Like, what is going on? They've built this entire community, and it's just like, I can't believe that I'm seeing this. I've been here for hours, I'm still shocked.
Dangerous. America. We're gonna be walking in the sunshine, going straight for the shade. There's a ton of fucking people there. Never mind. We're gonna start over right now. Here we go. All right. So we took a boat across, and this time we had asked one of the girls that we ate lunch with. She said it's only $1 to get across for you two. So we just got on, and I gave the guy the $1 at the end, and it all went smoothly, no problem. He did try to sell us on going and seeing some more monkeys. Everybody wants us to see a monkey. And little do they know, I fed a monkey this morning without a tour guide. It's probably illegal. But he showed me, he was trying to upsell his tours, and he was showing me his phone. And in his phone, he let me flip through the pictures. And I was like, is that a fire? And he was like, yeah, that's a fire. And it was a video file, so I played the video file. I'm sitting there watching the fire that we stood by the house of when we were talking about whether there are fire hydrants and stuff like that. I actually got to see the video of the fire that happened.
Was it daytime or nighttime in the video?
It was daytime, and he said it was only about a month ago. So that was all pretty fresh. I could see this being like a mega frat house. Robot house!
I'm gonna laugh about that when I edit. That's kind of an unexpected sight. Traffic here is super nice. Cars just stop for you, like even more so than in Japan. It's amazing. We stumbled across a kind of like a style competition, like a dance competition on bicycles is basically what's happening. So these kids in this country have apparently got fixed gear bikes. There's quite a few of them around this little area. And they have like, you know, some music playing and like a guy on the announcer and like doing the whole thing, and there's some judges and stuff judging people as they're doing different tricks and stuff. And the setting is amazing because there's this mosque that's sitting like right behind the whole thing. It looks unbelievable. And right around the corner, we decided to sit down, and there are some kids that are just like practicing. They seem like they may be a little younger than the people that were involved in the competition, but they're just practicing, and you know, they're doing wheelies for a ways and then falling, and a couple of them pretty good, and other friends like clap for the fall, and like, I don't know, it feels very familiar, like we're on the opposite side of the world from where I grew up, but it feels very familiar to the types of things that kids do, like, you know, in America or whatever. It's kind of neat to see this. Eventually, all the kids stopped riding around for a few minutes and then just started switching parts on their bikes around, like kind of like randomly. Like, okay, here's a tire for you, and I'll take your tire. Like moving like pedals around and stuff. It was pretty neat. Like they just, I guess they all just like, it's like part of their community, just switch the parts around, and then they got on their bikes and rode around, shook down the new feel, and now they're doing tricks again. It's really cool. This dome behind us has a museum inside of it, and the museum is basically a museum to the coronation of the Sultan, and also is full of gifts from different people from all around the world that like world leaders or diplomats or whatever have given him.
Like people who are higher ups in the Bruneian government and things like that. There were so many cool things in there.
Paintings and sculptures.
If you like shiny stuff, cool.
However, you're not allowed to use your camera. Actually make you put your whole bag with your camera and everything into a locker and lock it up. So we don't have any footage, but if you're in the neighborhood and you want some air conditioning, it's recommended.
And it's really cold.
Yeah, it's cold in there, really cold. There's marble floor too, and you have to take your shoes off, so you get to feel that marble floor on your feet. It's an experience. What are you looking at?
The bus, and then I started thinking about the bus network, and then I was like, can we get from here to there on the bus? And I just start going. I don't really stop.
Let's find food.
Pew.
Is that a mistranslation, or is Katie about to drink the bird nest flavored drink? How's it gonna be? Does it smell gross?
I'm not telling you.
She's just acting. Probably smells amazing.
Go ahead.
I gotta taste it too?
Yeah, you gotta taste it too, and then I'll explain. Yeah.
What?
It kind of tastes like rice pudding with nail polish remover. That it doesn't have the harshness of nail polish remover, like the harsh smell or the harsh. I've never tasted it, but like I'm pretty sure it would be like a bite or something like that, and it just tastes like the smell without it like hurting your nose.
I kind of like it.
That's weird. I have decided that I needed the biggest muffin that was at the entire truck stop that we went to earlier today.
That market from this morning?
Yeah, I called it a truck stop.
Why do you think it has 3 nipples? What's going on up there?
I don't know. Wonder if they're just general markings to tell you what kind of things are.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's the same thing, the conclusion that we came to with the onion thing the other day.
Well, get into that muffin, see what's up. She said I think it was sweet potato.
It's not sweet at all.
I meant like sweet potato, like...
Filling.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe a yam or something.
Break down the middle.
She told me it was sweet potato, and then the other guy, like, said a bunch of stuff to her in a language I couldn't understand. Like, kind of like, I don't think that's the right word in English. It was kind of the impression I got.
It's very, very like the biscuits that we had at school.
Like in America?
Yeah, but with no butter.
It's not too bad.
It's that kind of thickness. It's not as fluffy, it's more compact, but it's very much like high school lunch.
You get some porchetta up on there.
It's hitting the spot, man. And what also is going to hit the spot?
Brown. Check him out. I love him. We've come over to another mosque. Well, the first mosque we've come to in Brunei, but the second mosque on this trip that we visited, and it was built in the 50s as a, not a gift, but as an homage to the previous sultan, who was like the 28th sultan. Like 28 generations that this like sultanate has existed, and I'm assuming like within the same family. I don't know, but
it could be. I know that they've been going for a really long time.
A really
like this
long
family.
time for a monarchy. Like, is the sultanate considered a monarchy? Am I using the right terms here? I don't know, but it's a long time for a one run of a family. And the mosque inside is like really lavish. Of course, it's got the huge carpet, and it's got just like this window can show on the outside. It's got stained glass and stuff, and it's beautiful inside. And when you go in there, when non-Muslims are allowed inside, it's very peaceful because there's nobody inside. They're not praying, and there's not any religious activities going on. So it's very serene and kind of like when you go to a church when it's not in like full swing, not in service. And it's a very peaceful place. And there is a big dome on the top of this one, as there are almost all mosques, I guess. It's a mosque thing. And on the inside, there's a lot of stained glass that runs along the inside of the dome. It's really beautiful. And on the outside, there's like literally millions of pieces of glass with gold, I guess, covered on them. Is that how it was?
It said that they were covering real gold leaf.
Oh, covering real gold leaf. And so the little tiles that are all over the dome on the outside. And from a distance, it just looks like one piece of gold, but when you look at it closely or get a zoom in on your camera, you can see each tiny little piece. And that's just like, I don't know, so millions of anything to me blows my mind, and millions of like little squares that they've done up to make this giant dome is like quite impressive. You may be asking, why don't we have any footage of the inside of this? And the reason is there's no cameras allowed.
There were a lot of people that were praying in there, and I do think that that's a private moment for people, so, you know, is what it is. This is an active place, it's not just a showpiece. The people are really using it.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say that like, oh, they didn't let me have a camera, I'm a tourist. I just explaining to the people like why this doesn't have any footage. And then I believe there's a minaret that is this one, I think. And it's like 52 meters tall. And it is the tallest structure in the city. And apparently a bank built the structure that was slightly taller than it, and the Sultan was like, no. They had to like cut a floor out and drop the ceiling down so that this would continue to be the tallest thing. And that seems nuts, but isn't Washington DC the same way? Like nothing can be bigger than the Washington Monument? I think it's a law. So anyway, oh, that's pretty cool. I want to climb it. I told Katie that because the time we climbed the minaret in Egypt, and it was like mind-bogglingly cool. But I don't see any stairs. In front of the mosque is a big artificial lake that they built that acts kind of as a reflecting pool. And in the reflecting pool, they have put a big stone boat. It's a replica of a boat, like a style of boat that they had from the 1500s. And I guess in this boat, they used to have like Quran reading competitions, which sounds a bit like a thing I made up, but it's what's written in our guidebook. And that's what would happen on these boats. And I guess that was some sort of thing that existed. I'm thinking like a sport type of thing, like who can read it the fastest? Like what exactly is happening there? If anybody knows, I'd love to hear. But it offers nowadays a really cool view of the mosque. Like it's very picturesque, a very cool view. Really good place to come out here and like be a tourist. Don't make me climb him! We've come to a little restaurant that serves something called Ambuyat. And it is something that is kind of like, from our understanding, the national dish here, not something that was like imported from someplace else. And it's a bit odd. I'm not sure what it's made out of, but it's kind of like a gelatiny jelly type of thing. You eat it with a special kind of chopstick that is connected here. And you might be able to see now that it's kind of like an ooze. I have never eaten this before. I apologize to anybody that is going to be able to tell me that I'm doing this wrong. So, from watching the other people eating, you take it and you do this, and you get some on here, and it is just a gelatin, like straight up. And then you have a sauce that she asked us if we want it spicy, and I said a little. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this in there a little bit like that, and then I'm gonna put it in my mouth, and she said, don't chew, swallow. Okay.
Thank you.
The sauce is quite spicy. The gelatin stuff doesn't have any flavor.
And you get a big wad of it.
Yeah, it's a lot. And I don't know how to explain the sauce. The sauce has kind of got a chili type of thing going on. I believe the sauce was warm, the goo is warm. The swallowing experience is strange. It feels weird because you get all of that spice, it doesn't go in your mouth and get chewed up and whatever like a normal spicy food does. It just slides down your throat and you feel all of this spice just going down your throat. It's a bit of a strange experience. The set also, I don't really know what else to say.
It's massive.
Yeah, it's a lot of food. So we've got a couple of fish here. We've got some stuff I'm not sure what is over there.
Looks like beef.
Yeah, it looks like beef maybe. So I'm gonna try a piece of this and see. Ooh, it's really soft.
Could be lamb.
Or yeah, it could be potato or something. Oh
Did you just say potato?
Really, really good. It's got almost like a southern cooked, like American southern cooked barbecue flavor. That was just fat. That was just a ball of fat. It tastes like beef though. I'm pretty sure it tastes like beef ribs. And then just some stuff here.
Veggies that have been sauteed and some veggies that have not.
So the history behind this this dish with the gooey stuff is that during the Japanese occupation in World War II, there wasn't enough rice to go around, so they started making this. And I wonder if this is rice based and like kind of like mochi or something made. I don't know what it's made out of. It's very strange. Talking about strange things, we also asked the waitress what her favorite drink was, like the drink, and she said it was the ABC. And we were like, okay, we'll order an ABC, and it was the first thing to come out, and it was this guy.
I have read about this ABC. The book says it's going to include ice, which I can see, little green noodles, grass jelly, sago pearls, and red beans. I actually see corn in there as well, so it's just a mixture of a lot of weird stuff.
To me, this is a dessert, but like she was like, it's my favorite drink.
Yeah, there's corn and red beans, and it's just a...
Similar to the types of things we had in Thailand, and last year we had something very similar to this in the Philippines. Is it kind of like that, or is it unique and it's a different way?
I think it's unique in the fact that it's got so much added into it. It's just a ridiculous amount of stuff. I would say it's really tasty. It's got like a... Since this one has corn, like a corn pottage,
yeah.
Type feel, with just exciting.
Strawberries and stuff? Like, is that the flavoring that they've used, or any idea?
It just tastes
It's sweet.
like ice cream.
Okay, so sweet. I would like to see you eat this goo stuff.
What goo stuff?
What do you mean, what goo stuff? This goo stuff.
This goo stuff.
This big plate of goo we got.
Alright, so she said just stick the little guys in. Wow, okay, that's real gooey.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna spin and spin till we get enough on there. And I was watching the guy next door. He seems like the master.
Yeah.
I gotta...
He looks like he might have been here during the Japanese occupation. Dude looks pretty old.
And this sauce is interesting. I'm gonna give it a little spin. I don't know what that it looks like.
I would go
hummus.
light on that sauce.
It's because you're a chicken.
Yeah. Don't you swallow.
Sauce to me is kind of fishy.
Yeah, you think? Okay.
But it goes down smoother than I thought it would. It feels really soft, and I pushed it kind of against the roof of my mouth, and that felt better than just going. I'm a little bit disappointed in the sauce. The sauce to me doesn't taste that great. I would say this is one of the weirdest things I've ever eaten. Like, it's just, I love to eat weird things, scary things, strange things. This didn't seem scary or strange, but it's just plain old weird.
Don't chew, swallow are weird instructions. She said that to us.
Just get it in there. And I would say that the sauce doesn't really go for the just swallow it. Like,
yeah.
Or maybe it does. Like, the flavor of it is just so not very good that it's just like, just put it in there. I don't think that it's not good in the sense that like other people wouldn't like it. It's bad tasting. It's just I'm not excited about it. I thought I really was going to be excited about it, but I am very excited about these weird little sticks and the event that we are going to have as this dinner is. It's just all strange.
It's an adventure, an adventure on a table. Katie has nailed the flavor of the beef dish that we have, and it is totally the flavor of beef jerky. Like the stuff you get at Walmart, like, you know what I mean? Like the mainstream, like normal, everybody has tasted this beef jerky in their life, beef jerky. It tastes like that stuff, but really soft. So it's a very familiar flavor, and it's not bad. It's like, the more I eat it, the less I like it, to be honest, but it's still okay. The slime stuff, on the other hand, we've both kind of decided I kind of hate it, to be honest. it's just the sauce, the more you eat it, the more you're just like, there's just not anything there happening. It's like doing anything good. I don't know. I really want to like it, and you said the same thing. Like, we really want to enjoy it, but it's just like, you know, maybe food that was made during like during wartime because there's food shortages isn't necessarily something that you should be gunning to eat. Maybe we shouldn't have been too eager to come and try this out so quickly. Maybe that's what it is. In the future, we should just use that as our not barometer, but our compass. Like, oh, did this get invented and become famous under famine times? Like, maybe try to avoid that in the future. All right, so this gets kind of funny. We looked up Ambuyat you have somehow figured this out on the internet, and it says that it is a sticky, you know, gooey stuff, whatever, and it's dipped into a spicy fruit sauce. We're like, fruit sauce? Fruit? I taste fishy stuff and whatever, I don't know what it is. Fruit. We start thinking about it, and we're looking at it, and there's these chunks of like white something in there that we thought were meat, but it turns out we've come to the conclusion, and maybe we're wrong, but we think it's durian. That the base of the dish is durian, which is, it's just really funny. If you've been following us for a while, you know we come across durian, and we're just always like, God, this is terrible. This explains a lot about how we feel about this dish, because it's really not something we are enjoying, to be honest. And I'm smelling it now, and I'm putting it all together, and I'm thinking it is. I'm thinking durian is what we've got. We've got spicy durian goo, is what we're choking back. You gonna finish that up?
Oh, hell no. I stopped eating long ago. This is despicable. If you wanted to torture someone, then maybe this is the dish.
If you were raised on durian,
yes, if you were raised on this terrible stuff, you must love it. But oh my God, this is gross. I don't talk like this about food very often. Like, sometimes I'm just like, I don't like it, but wow, this is just taking it to a whole nother level. I'm blown away. I ate all the vegetables.
even though that meal wasn't for us, I'm really happy we got it because it was like a blind taste test to another durian adventure. Like, if it was in fact durian, which pretty sure it was, it's like, we didn't know. I mean, we still don't know for certain, but it means that we got a chance to try it without going into it knowing, okay, here goes durian, this might be bad. Like, we didn't have that at all. We just ate it, and we ate it for like 10 minutes, and we were like, man, that's really not good. This is not for us. And if it turns out to be durian, and I'm gonna look it up later for sure when I have like solid internet, but if it turns out to be durian, that means we had a pretty good like opportunity to like give it a fair shake, and still, it's really just not my guy.
Bats.
There are bats. There's bats all around us. It's really cool. I like bats. Bats are cool little creatures.
Bats.
Mosques at nighttime are just incredible places. As a result of the the durian goo, I'm still a bit hungry. We walked past a bakery and they had a flour sausage, so how could one resist? I've got my flour sausage here, and what I'm expecting is just bread with like little pieces of hot dog inside, and that's pretty much what I got.
That is a hot dog.
That is a hot dog. It tastes just like a hot dog, like kind of like a low-grade hot dog, kind of. You know what I mean? Like. You know, you had like a friend that like their family didn't have so much money, and you know, you'd go over to their house for lunch or whatever when you were a kid, and you'd be like getting these hot dogs. You'd be like, these are different than what I'm used to. And I feel really high up on the horse right now, don't I? I was one of the rich kids with the good hot dogs. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Everybody has that kid, that friend that was one step lower on the economic scale, and they always had a slightly danker hot dog situation. This is in that area. But the bread is pretty good. And I'm really, anytime I see like, this is sesame seeds or whatever, like anytime I see that, I'm sold. I like that stuff. This is The best thing I've had for dinner yet today.
Does it need ketchup?
Ketchup? No, the bread is good enough that it doesn't need ketchup. But it could use a splash of durian. That might...
That might just put it in the same caliber as everything else we ate. Are you fire brigade? What are you? Are you a Brit? Did you change? When did that happen?
Hey everybody, hope you enjoyed Borneo Part 2, where we were in Brunei for a while. Ooh, I just gave you a spoiler. Maybe somebody caught it, maybe somebody didn't. Anyway, we got to explore the capital city, BSB, and all that, and it was a really, really cool, chill place. I'm sure that probably came through on the video. And I loved editing this one. I really liked editing the water village stuff, and just seeing that again, it's still blowing my mind that that place even exists. Just like really phenomenal. However, editing the end of that video and going through that meal that we had again was traumatic for a second time. I'm really sorry if like you happen to like be from that area and you like have a special attachment to that food and you think it's amazing and that we're being really harsh about it. And I mean, we're kind of, I mean, we hated it, let's be flat, but like it's okay that we didn't like it. You know, people don't like everything they're gonna try. But man, woo, it was, people ask us all the time, like, what is one of the most, I don't want to use the word disgusting, that's not the right word, because it was properly presented and it was properly made and everything, but like it was just not good to us, you know? Like people ask us all the time, like, what's a food that you have that you really didn't enjoy, I guess would be the most polite way to put it. And that's probably on the list. It was just not our thing. But anyway, getting past that, I hope everybody enjoyed the video and everything. And if you want to keep up with us, we have a Twitter, we have a Facebook, we have a Reddit. And if you want to help us out monetarily to make videos just like the one you just watched, you can check us out over on Patreon. That's how we afford to do all these videos and fun things like this. So it would be cool if you could check that out and help us out if you have the means. And if you don't, then if you could just hit the like button or share these videos with people that you think might think it's interesting, that you think might think the videos are interesting. Grammar. I've been sick this week, so I've been home alone for like 5 days. And I haven't talked to anybody for a while, so like words are, I'm just now realizing it's probably been a few days since I've like made words and stuff, but anyway, you understand what I'm saying. I hope everybody enjoyed. So I've got a couple of questions that I wanted to address, and the first one is actually from Tammy. And Tammy, how are you doing? I've met Tammy. Tammy is cool. Tammy from Patreon, and she asked a series of questions, and one of them I thought was kind of interesting. And she said, if you had to choose, would you rather visit North Korea or Russia? In this hypothetical scenario, you can hypothetically bring Katie, and she is hypothetically excited to go to either country, which is probably fairly true. Hypothetically, Katie is very excited to go basically anywhere. So, that's an interesting question for me because I've actually been to Russia. When I was 17, I went to Estonia and Russia for a summer with a friend of mine that I had made who is from Tallinn in Estonia. And I stayed there for, I think, the summer. I don't remember how long exactly it was. But we went into Russia from Tallinn to visit his grandparents and stuff. And they lived in like southern Russia, kind of down in like the Georgia area. I guess Georgian makes sense, and language. And then we went, we hit Moscow just for a day, and then St. Petersburg for like 4 or 5 days, and then back into Tallinn. And Russia, to me then, this was a long time ago, this was 1997, I think. It was awesome. It was my first time like outside of the country and stuff. So I have very fond memories of both Tallinn and the Russia experience of that trip. So I would love to go back. I'd love to see what's changed specifically in Tallinn, but checking out what's changed in Russia would be really cool. And it would be cool just to take Katie there and like get to show her some of the things that I got to experience while I was there. And like, I don't know, it's easy. I would go back to Russia. And the other side, she asked, comparing it to North Korea, like we've been to, depending on how you slice it, nearly every Eastern Asian country that there is, like on the Pacific Rim. We haven't been down to like Papua New Guinea and stuff. That's kind of getting into like the Australia continent and stuff. Like how do you break it all up, you know? So anyway, we've been to a lot of countries in Asia, and obviously we have not been to North Korea. And that's been sort of for a reason. basically you had the way it usually works from my research, which is a little outdated at this point, but maybe is still accurate. You have to go to China, and then you can get a visa there that is quite expensive, and the visa cost like is your hotel cost and your guide cost and all of the things that are required to go on the trip. And then you go there with like, you know, the government is with you the whole time, and then they show you what they want you to see, and you have very little, if any, interaction with like unofficial locals and all that stuff. So my problem with that is that one, it's expensive, and two, I feel like you're really just taking a huge chunk of money and giving it to the elite in the country. And there's something about that that just because of the situation, the humanitarian situation and everything there, that I find it like kind of like morally difficult to be like, okay, we're gonna do this, regardless of it being a very, very unique situation and stuff. It's just I can't get past that. And I mean, we've been to countries in the past that have got morally questionable like government systems, but we've never been someplace where when we stayed at a hotel, we paid a local in cash, and that local got the money. And I mean, whatever happened to the money after that, you know, I don't know. Maybe they have a high tax that they have to pay or whatever. You know, I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of like, you know, gang Yakuza style thing going on that's like filtering the money away from them, or, you know. But I mean, the fact of the matter is that like if I bought noodles from somebody on the side of the street, I handed them money, and then it was theirs. It didn't go directly to the top and skip over the whole like lower class, middle class, and everything of the country. So I just find it to be a little bit just hard to justify going, even though there's a big part of us that's like, you know, it'd be a really fascinating experience. The other problem is, of course, when we go places, we like to shoot videos and share them with people. And I do have a little bit of concern that like, I guess when you leave the country, sometimes they go through your camera and like, I mean, they could just format the whole card. You could just lose everything. I mean, you know, if they see something on there they don't like or whatever. So that's a tiny part of what I think about when I do that, when that happens. But I'm hoping that at some point in the future, maybe this is a pipe dream, but it would be lovely if the political system in the Korean Peninsula was more stable and we could visit it legitimately and actually give it a good explore. I think that'd be a very, very amazing place to see firsthand, and it would be nice to be able to do it with a little more freedom, even though going currently is still an experience in itself. And no judgment on anybody that goes or anything. Like, this is just our personal feeling. So if you've gone and you've had an amazing experience and stuff, like, props. And like, I've watched videos of people there and stuff, and it's crazy. So anyway, that I hope explains the thoughts that we have about that. People ask us about it all the time because they see our list of Asian countries is dwindling down to basically North Korea is all that's left. But anyway, let's see. One more question from YouTube. Silmaris, Silmaris, I'm sorry, asks, if you were trapped on a desert island and could bring only one type of food and one type of drink, what would you bring? And I think that there's two ways to answer that. I think there's the fun way, and there's the like logical I want to stay alive way. And if it was the logical I want to stay alive way, I'd probably say I'd bring like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like something that would have like a lot of protein or something, but wouldn't get disgusting really fast. I don't know, do bananas have protein? I love bananas. Bananas are really good. For food, it would just be, I'd have to really, really like do some scientific research and figure out like what would be the thing I could bring that would like be the way to maintain health and all that stuff. But that's kind of the boring answer. And for a drink in that case, I just bring like clean water, like it's like unlimited clean water, like a pipe or something, like a hose. I bring a hose connected to, you know, clean water on the other end. And that's the kind of boring, like logical answer. But I guess if I had to bring something that like, because I mean, if you get to the island and there's banana trees, and you know, I don't need to bring bananas, so there's not going to be like a burrito tree, so I'd probably bring burritos. Like, I guess that would probably be good because that has like vegetables and rice and meat and like seems like a pretty like solid meal all in one shot. So it has beans in it, yeah. So yeah, I think that would probably be my food. And not only is it I think fairly healthy considering the circumstances, it's delicious. For a drink, for a fun drink. I'd I'd bring gin, vermouth, and olives if I could get them all in thing, and then I'd have martinis. I'd be like mash. So I'd bring, or I'd build like they had that still or whatever in their tent. If I could just not bring the drink, but maybe just bring like whatever it takes to make all that stuff, that would be pretty cool. I have a science experiment going on. Yeah, so martinis would be that'd be cool. That would be my fun drink. But like clearly the dumbest thing you could possibly bring to an island. And I wanted to do like if you haven't seen these, do a media shout out. Been watching something or listening to something or playing something, I want to talk about it, just give everybody a heads up. And I found something yesterday actually via The Needle Drop, which is a YouTube channel I watch every once in a while, and he gives he does music reviews and stuff that's really good. That's not the actual media shout out, but he mentioned something that I watched, and it's a video by a band called Remo Drive, and it's called You're Killing Me. And it is I'll put a link in the description so anybody can check it out. They can do that. And it is like, it's not quite punk, but it's not quite just straight rock. And it's kind of like, you know, jangly guitars and like yelling. And I love stuff like this because like they're young, and like when I was their age, I was always thinking like, oh, when I'm an old dude, which I'm an old dude now, right? I was like, I'm not gonna like you know, new rock music, and that just seems to be how it is. But that's not how it is at all. I still love going back and watching these younger kids just pumping out like good rock music, and they're doing that, and it's like got emotion to it, and it's like really well written, and it's well produced, and it's just so cool that like, I don't know, maybe I'm just proud of myself in a way that I can still appreciate things that aren't in my like generation bracket anymore. And yeah, it's an amazing song. It's really catchy, and if you're into noisy music, I think that you probably really like it too. So you should check it out. I'm really looking forward to if they release an album or something. I need to look into that. But it's funny, when I was setting up my camera, I was listening to it. Like, that's the video right there. And I just paused it, and I'm gonna listen to it again in a few minutes when I'm done with this. So anyway, you can check that out if you want. And I'm just trying to think what we've got coming up. After this, there'll be a bunch more Borneo stuff coming, and there's going to be a bunch more hitchhiking stuff coming, and there's going to be stuff from Hong Kong coming in the spring, and I got some cool ideas of videos I'm shooting with Katie when she comes back in a month and a half from this point. It seems like forever away. And there's more Katie in America videos that should be coming, and yeah, I hope everybody's looking forward to them. We're looking forward to sharing them.